I had a moment there where I didn't even click the button yet, and I was thinking I was already recording, so that was funny. And yes, I do know this is supposed to be sort of like a Christmas-themed sweater, but I guess it kind of works for the winter months, which we have officially, I guess, met head on now, as it seems to be accumulating some sort of snow, I guess, in January. Seem to have a pretty easy winter here in Canada so far, but I guess it's finally coming. It seems that the winter months have changed from when I was a kid. They used to be, winter months seem to be kind of like November till February, basically, where we get a lot of snow. Now it seems to snow once in October. We kind of skip over November, December, and this year almost all of January, and then it finally snowed at the end of January. So I'm not really sure what to expect for this winter, but I guess that kind of is a good lead into this movie, because a movie review for Madagascar, the very first one from way back in 2005. Now, if this movie was made today, I would say it would probably have a much higher rating, because I believe that the rating for it was PG. It might have been PG-13. I can't remember. But I'm just going to check on that. But I would say that it would be probably at least 14A now if it came out, just due to some of the jokes and content in it. I would say that this movie wasn't even necessarily made for kids when it came out. But I guess all animated movies are kind of like that. Hey, when they come out, there's obviously jokes in there that the kids aren't going to get. And when you go back and watch it as an adult, you kind of go, holy, did I really? Wow, it was rated G. Oh my God, man. How? Yeah, when I go back and watch this now, it's kind of like, how did this movie get away with a G rating? Because it would definitely, so maybe it wouldn't be 14A, but it'd definitely be PG-13 if it was by today's standards, as opposed to, yeah, for just some of the jokes in it and content. Oh my God, man, I can't believe that got away with a G rating. Looking back at it now, just some of the jokes in there, I was like, wow, I didn't understand this as a kid, but now that I'm an adult and I go back and watch these movies, I'm like, I can still have a laugh, because it's like a different, like when you're a kid, you laugh at everything because I guess maybe I believe I went to see this in theaters, so maybe it was just because my parents were laughing, I was laughing, but yeah, but now actually understanding the jokes, it's like, wow. But anyhow, I feel like that's kind of a long enough intro. I guess I can consider that the intro, can I? Anyhow, so this movie follows the four characters, Alex, Marty, Gloria, and Melman. So definitely a odd pairing of friends, because we have a lion, a zebra, a hippo, and a giraffe. And the voices were, I know Alex was voiced by Ben Stiller, Marty was voiced by Chris Rock. Who was the hippo voiced by? I can't remember. And Melman was David Schwimmer. Let me look out. Let me look out. Let me look up who voiced Gloria. Oh, Jada Pinkett Smith. Huh. I did not know that. Interesting. So anyhow, they are all in a zoo, so obviously they're all in captivity, but they are like the stars of the show anyhow. Alex definitely is. It's Marty's 10th birthday, so I guess I don't know the actual life expectancy of a zebra, but he said he's halfway through his life and he hasn't really had any chance to explore, because in the beginning of this movie he's having this daydream where he's out in the wild, and then all of a sudden Alex scares him to give him his birthday gift. And then the penguins are trying to escape, and they're probably one of my favorite characters in the movie, just because they just get up to the most ridiculous shenanigans through the entire movie. So they're trying to escape and dig their way to Antarctica, and obviously they'd never been out at the zoo, or they were taken away from wherever they were meant to be at a very young age, obviously, because now they're much older, and they're trying to escape to the wide open lands of Antarctica, so they have no idea what's in store for them. So Marty kind of gets this idea that he can escape to go to the wild. Melman tells him that Connecticut isn't that far away, he just has to take the train. So Marty basically escapes from the zoo that night, and then they all get taken back into captivity and then released into the wild because I guess the news reporter said that these animals obviously don't belong in captivity if they're trying to escape from where they are. So they decided to put them back into the wild. I believe they were going to be shipped to Africa, was the original plan, obviously because that's where these animals would be from. And then the penguins take the boat over and steer it the other way, and then all of the crates fall off that contain the other animals in them, and they are washed ashore on the shores of Madagascar, where they meet. Is he a lemur or a monkey? Some sort of monkey. They think he's a squirrel, but anyhow, where they meet King Julian and all the other. I think they might have been lemurs. They must have been lemurs. I think that's what they were supposed to be. I can't remember because it's been so long since I've seen this movie, but I think they were lemurs, yeah. But anyhow, the Fusa are their main enemies that attack them. And so Alex comes in and scares the Fusa away, so King Julian devises this plan to basically make Alex and his crew, I guess, kind of like their protection from the Fusa. It's just absolutely hilarious. From him singing "I like to move it" to just the jokes, like calling the newcomers the pansies, and like telling other people not to insult them, but then saying, "Can't you see you've insulted the freak?" Just some of those lines are just they still make me laugh. And sometimes you don't even catch all of them because I've gone back and watched this movie, like probably 3 times within the last year now, and it's still some of the lines get me because I'm like, oh, I didn't even realize he was making a joke about that. But yeah, so he tries to make it so that it doesn't look like Alex is like going into his wild instincts. But eventually they have to banish Alex to the Fusa side of the island, and then the boat comes back with the penguins on it, and they realize that they weren't supposed to be in Antarctica because when they get there, they're like, it's all snow, and the one penguin goes, well, this sucks, so they decide to take the boat back to where they were originally supposed to go, but obviously they, I guess, I just don't know how they ended up making it to Madagascar. Obviously they're penguins, they don't really know exactly where they're going, I suppose, but anyhow, they end up making it back to the island, and then it's actually the penguins that save the day for Alex because they ended up showing him that there's other food sources other than steak, which would be the other animals that he was with. So they end up just feeding him fish. It's not Alex's first choice, but it'll do because he does like it enough that he knows that can be a viable food source for him, so he's not worried about eating his friends. And then when they try to leave the island, obviously the boat is out of gas, so the penguins are stuck in Madagascar, and so are the rest of them, I guess. They just don't know it yet. So I am going to do a review of the second movie. This movie is definitely a 10 out of 10 for me. Definitely go watch it for some of the jokes in it. I mean, you can definitely, it's still, I mean, it's an animated movie, but I don't know. I mean, I guess it is geared towards kids and adults, as all animated movies are. We're kind of finding that out as we grow older, I guess. That there are definitely jokes in all of the animated movies that would just go over a child's head, and in your mind you're going, wow, this is like, when my kid goes back and watches this, he's going to see this the same way I do now in like 10 or 15 years. It's just funny that animated creators are able to get those little jabs in, and we notice it, but obviously the youth of the world doesn't notice it yet because they don't understand all of it. So, but anyhow, yeah, 10 out of 10 on this movie. I think I've covered everything that I can. I don't want to get too in depth because I feel like there's so much to this movie, and it's such a good movie that I don't want to ruin it completely for anybody. So yeah, please like, share, and subscribe. Sorry, and comment down below your thoughts on this film if you've seen it. If not, please definitely go watch it. It is on Netflix again right now. The whole series of movies is. I don't know how long they're going to keep them up for, because Netflix tends to do that from time to time, where they bring stuff on and then they add something else and then they take the rest of it off for whatever. They did that with Fast and Furious. They had Fast 8 up for the longest time, put all the movies up for a little bit of time, and then they removed a random selection of them again. So I'm really kind of confused as to maybe it's just contracts with certain companies. I don't really know how they work it all out, but anyhow, yeah, I guess I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye for now.